Delana.
Yeah, you want to see that on my IC later on. All right, so enough about that. We, like I said, like what Nabil has mentioned as well, we got a lot of very interesting guests on this show to talk through us on this auspicious day. But the first show, or should I say the first guest that we want to bring on for today is that this person will be talking to us about the greatness of the Year of the Rabbit, or the Water Rabbit, I should say, as what we are celebrating this year on, Nabil. Yeah.
Of course, so we'll be having a Zoom conversation with Mr. Henry Fong, who is a feng shui, I'm not saying it right, it's feng shui consultant, and he has been doing this for 20 years, ladies and gentlemen. I wonder if he can predict the year of my wedding, because I'm still single, and that's probably going to be one of the questions that when I ask him, that I'm going to consult with him in the show. But of course, we're talking about the year ahead also, and what would be good for you and what would not be good for you.
Exactly. And also on the guest list, we will be having two very prominent Malaysians on the show. We're going to have Yap Winwei, a local model who has done so much right now for her. And we also will be having the ex-professional badminton player in Sonia Chia later on the show. So like I said, a lot of interesting things, a lot of tidbits, a lot of stories that is going to be discussed today on today's show. So let's not beat around the bush right now. Let's us go directly to our first guest right now. We have the feng shui consultant, the feng shui master, to talk about the Year of the Rabbit. We have Henry Fong on the line with us. Henry, good morning. Happy Chinese New Year. Kong hei, kong hei.
Kong hei, kong hei.
Good morning to you, and happy Chinese to you too.
Okay, before we go on, Henry, we just want to clarify, is it Kong hei fa choi or Gong si fa chai? Educate us, please, because we're a bunch of people who don't know what's real and what's true or not.
Well, if you look at China, the Han people, there are so many different dialects.
Yep.
More common ones are Cantonese and Hokkien, and then of course you have Hakka and the rest. We all say the same thing in a slightly different manner. So whichever way you say it, you're probably correct.
Probably correct. I love the fact that he said probably correct. So it may not be 100%, but it's probably correct.
So just go with the flow.
We just go with the flow. We are Malaysians anyway. We tend to mix up all of our languages to be all Malaysian as we can. So Henry, let's kick things off. This is the Year of the Rabbit. This is the year, I mean, like in Chinese zodiac, every year represents a different type of animal. And it so happens that this year is the rabbit, or the water rabbit. Henry, could you actually share with us what can we actually expect, in this particular year moving forward?
Well, I think you have to look at what does the animal, the rabbit in particular, what does it symbolizes? The two key points of the rabbit is that it symbolizes prosperity, and also symbolizes prosperity, and also peace and tranquility. So I would think that this year, economically, it should be a good year. And probably not much major happening. It will be a peaceful year.
All right, that sounds very, very good. And you are also looking good in your red shirt, Henry. Thank you so much for dressing up. Of course, this is Chinese New Year, and of course, red means good in Chinese. And we'll go to our second question, because you have been a consultant for professional industries and properties and also individuals for the past 20 years. So I'm sure you would have a good idea of which industries that would do a bit better this year compared to others. Which industry?
Well, again, we look at the element, or rather we look at the rabbit and the element of the rabbit. Now, you correctly mentioned that this is the year of the water rabbit. The rabbit has the element wood, so it's actually water and wood. So based on that, I would predict that the water industry, the wood industry, they would do well. Of course, if you imagine that a plant, which is wood, it needs water to grow, but it also needs sunlight to grow. So therefore, the three industry which I believe would do well would be the water, wood, and also the fire industry.
Water, wood, and fire industry. Yeah, I think Nabil.
Let me give you an example. The wood industry is associated with, of course, with wood, and also furniture and all that is the wood industry. But it is also associated with education. So education should be good. Water would be, of course, water, cafe, mineral water, and also logistics. Whereas the fire industry has got to do with food, restaurant, fire industry, as well as something to do with promotion, like the advertising industry, for example.
All right, so I'm going to go jump into the restaurant business, also the wood furniture making business right now. Henry, thank you for that. Yes, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, like it is. I mean, again, coming from two people such as Nabila and myself, we don't really understand, what the zodiac actually represents. I mean, again, we do have a lot of Chinese friends out there who tried to educate us as much as possible, explaining to us, different types of animals, different types of zodiac, and what it represents. But specifically to you, Henry, the fact that, there are plenty of Chinese zodiacs out there. It's not just pertaining to the rabbit or the water rabbit per se. There are other zodiacs that could also be quite lucky also this year. What do you say about that?
Well, yes, I mean, I think there are 12 zodiacs. Some of them are luckier, some of them are less luckier. Now, you see, we believe that those zodiacs that are influenced by the helpful people would be the luckier zodiac of the year. And they include the dragon, the horse, the dog, and the rat. The dragon especially good for career luck. The horse is good for money luck. Whereas the other two, of course, four of them, they are all good for, they have helpful people in the chart. So whatever problems, that they may face this year, it's likely going to be resolved and probably have a happy ending.
I was born in the year of the dog, so it shows that I'm gonna get a lot of help from people, and like what Henry has mentioned, I am gonna get a lot of help from others, and all the problems will be resolved. You were smiling when Henry was mentioning about the year of the horse,
because he mentioned the year of the horse. That is gonna be an abundance in terms of wealth this year, and that sounds very, very good for me, Henry. You know what? I'll belanja you bak kuteh after this, definitely. But of course, there are 12 Chinese zodiac signs in total. I mean, you mentioned those that are a bit luckier this year, but of course there are others who are a bit less lucky. Would you like to talk about that also, Henry?
Okay. I don't know if you are aware, but there are two animals that was known as offending the Tai Sui and clashing with the Tai Sui. Tai Sui is actually the planet Jupiter. So the animals that actually face them offense and also clash with them. The two animals are the rabbit. Of course, this is the year of the rabbit, and also the rooster. Now, although the rabbit clashes with the Tai Sui, but there are also a lot of favorable stars affecting the rabbit. So, while the rabbit would expect some degree of setback, but I think at the end of the day, there are a lot of good stars that will help the rabbit. Now, for the rooster, it's not the same, because the rooster has got some really negative stars in the chart. Rooster, for example, would face a lot of setback and obstacles, as well as there is a tendency to lose money. Okay, so these two zodiac are so-called the not so good zodiac. Now, of course, in addition to that, there is also the pig, those born in the year of the pig and those that are born in the year of the ox. These zodiacs do not have favorable stars in their chart. In fact, they have some negative charts. For example, the tiger may experience injuries this year, okay? And the ox is not really that great. But if you are not a rooster, I think you're generally okay this year.
Okay. Now, I have to ask this on behalf of, the people who were born in the years of the zodiac, as you mentioned just now, Henry.
Yes.
Should they hear this from you, I believe that, thousands of Malaysians are actually together with us, watching this show together with us. When they hear such things coming out, and you're saying that, a person who's born in the year of the rooster, rabbit, pig, so on and so forth, they may have a difficult year. What should they actually do to prepare themselves, to make sure that not such bad luck falls upon them, and try to make the best out of it, at least for this year moving forward, Henry? Because it's kind of scary that you said.
Well, it's not really that scary, but there are a few so-called methods to alleviate the problem. The first one is to go to the temple. You go to the temple and ask the mosque to do some prayers for you.
Okay.
Carry out some procedures, to try and get rid of the not so good people. That's one of the way. Of course, the typical Chinese recommendation is that you have good feng shui in the house or in the office, and then also do some charitable deeds, because this will all come back to you. And finally, to learn more things, have education, so that when you know more things, there are more opportunities for you. Now, these are from a non-feng shui perspective. The other thing that I want to advise is that this year, or rather 2023, there are certain sectors of your house or your office which is influenced by bad energy. For example, this year, the sector is the northwest. Now, what you do is that you have to go to the middle of your property, take out your compass, which is a phone these days, and then see where is the northwest sector.
Okay.
So what you need to do is to avoid the northwest sector. That means don't spend time in the northwest sector.
Oh,
But
okay.
some people will tell me that that's the bedroom. What do I do? Yeah. So if you are not lucky enough to have a spare bedroom to move to,
Okay.
then my advice to you would be to place metal items in the northwest, because the metal will help to dissipate the bad energy in the northwest sector.
Okay. So, yeah, I do need to open up the compass later. I hope that I don't have to sleep in the garage or on the couch in the living room, because I hope that the room is not facing towards northward. We're almost running out of time, Henry, but we do want to ask you one more thing in regards of favorite, or should I say more auspicious color. Is it blue or red, or is it any other color that would be more lucky this year, Henry?
Okay. Earlier I mentioned that the rabbit has the element wood, and wood is represented by green color. So green is a favorable color. Now blue, water produces wood, so blue is a favorable color as well.
Wow.
And then, of course, you need the sunlight, to make the plant grow. So fire or red is also auspicious. So it's blue, green, red.
Blue, green, and red. So we're definitely on point here, Nabil. We're fine. We're
I
good.
was born in the year of the horse, and I am now garbed in blue, beautiful outfit. You know what? This is going to be a good year for me. I can feel it.
Definitely.
And hopefully it's going to be a good year for you also.
Yeah, we're running out of time. Thank you so much, Henry. Last word from you. A special wish to all of your fans, to everyone out there. Chinese New Year.
Well, I would say 心想事成啦, which means that whatever you think, you feel, you want can be realized.
All right. Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, Henry Fong, Feng Shui consultant, coming to us live on this day. Now you can rest, now you can go makan some more. Thank you, Henry. Thank you so much for coming on the show. All right. So we're lucky. We're wearing the nice colors. We're born in the year of good omen.
Yeah,
so
we just need to get some green pants and then we're good to go.
All right. So now moving on, we have a special